What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the First Ladies of Freight Season 1 reunion. I'm your host, Funky Dineva, and we are sitting on the couch about to catch all this tea with the First Ladies of Freight. Now, if you thought Season 1 was interesting, just wait until you get the inside deets on what's been going on with the ladies since the season wrap. This season, we find KC living in Miami, pulling down government contracts and inspiring other women to do the same. Much like Drake, she started at the bottom, but now she's at the top of her game with her nanny and her kids in tow. Check out a behind-the-scenes look at KC devising a master plan to pull the ladies together for a first never-seen trucking expo.
I was thinking about putting together just like a big women in trucking event. I'm gonna go out to California because I have something in mind, a project I want to put together for us. And I want you to be a part of it too. I want to talk to you about something. What's up? Speaking of, hardships and challenges, I think I got something that's gonna help us both out. That's what I want to talk to you guys about on Sunday. So I'm thinking of maybe Sunday, if you're not doing anything, to have them come over, introduce everybody, because I want to talk to you guys about something. The world has never seen anything like this, especially coming from women of color.
So Casey, you seem to know a whole lot about trucking and government contracting, but according to the internet, you don't know a damn thing about your children, because you caught a lot of slack about not knowing your son's shoe size. Did you really not know it?
I don't, because my son was 14 at the time we shot that. And I buy him shoes in bulk. So, he's a growing boy. Kids grow like weeds. I also have a nanny, so while I'm out making the money, my nanny oversees the children. They take them to tennis practice, make sure they get their lesson. So no, I didn't know his shoe size. I mean, goddamn, what y'all want from me?
Is it a common thing for you to go out and spend $3,000 at a time on your son's tennis shoes?
Yeah.
Oh, must be nice.
Yeah, if I get it all in bulk, I don't have to keep doing it. You know what I mean? 2 pair of shoes here, 2 there. So I just get it all in bulk until the next time his foot grows, and then we do it again.
Makes perfect sense. Let's move away from those kids into your other baby, the show and these ladies. Of all the ladies in the trucking business, why did you choose these ladies?
Putting this whole expo together has been quite the journey. But again, when I look to my right and to my left, I'm just that much more reassured because I have 2 solid women that I know are gonna be there with me, hell and high water. And I wouldn't have it any other way. I wouldn't wanna do it with anybody else. And I'm just more confident in the fact that I picked the right girls and we're going to pull this expo off. I chose these ladies because they are women of a certain caliber. People think when you are accomplished, it's about money, but it's also about fellowship, it's about sisterhood, it's about conflict resolution, and we've never had any problems. We've never crossed each other, even in, situations where we have to get it together. We deal with each other just on a certain frequency, and I love them, and I wouldn't want to do it with anybody else.
You could always tell that there was some familiarity with you guys from the show, with how comfortable you guys were. What was your relationship with each of these ladies before you began to film the show?
So it's no secret, it's a subculture of us who do this online. We all kind of caught wind of each other, and like Shanti, we did a podcast together, and she invited me to an event she had in California, so I pulled up. Michelle, same thing. We, caught wind of each other, reached out, and it was familiar, it was friendly, and we, got to the bag, and so it just stuck.
Socialite and trucking magnate Shanti and her husband G are dominating the trucking industry on the West Coast with an ever-growing demand in trucking. But with children and them being married, it begs the question, can a young couple that work together actually stay together? Take a look at this clip.
My name is Shanti Hoffman. I'm from Miami, Florida. I live in LA with my husband, G. We're both alpha, so I'm like the alpha female, he's the alpha male. So of course there's times where we'll clash, but at the end of the day,
it works out.
Look around, shit. So my husband and I did build this business from ground up, but it could be tough at times. 6 months later, we bought another truck. And then another truck, and it was just no turning back. Not that I think I know everything, I do know everything. We don't see eye to eye sometimes. I like to look at things my way, he likes to look at things his way. When I walked in, I saw people I haven't seen in a while, and they were like, Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. I was like, oh, hey. And I was like, I still got it.
Shanti, on the show, you seem to really have it all. The family, the hustle, the husband, the connections, the lifestyle, and the life. How do you pull it all off?
Honestly, the motivation right now is our kids. We're not even working anymore for us or for our kids or for our current bills. Our motivation is knowing that our kids are good.
So y'all heard what she said. She said she got enough money for this lifetime and the next one. It's the 3rd generation that she's working on the money. High five. Wow. So no trucker in Atlanta hits the road without first being cleared by Sheila Michelle. She has the authority to make sure that they meet all the requirements required by the DOT to make that money on the road. On the show, she's also known as the Peacemaker and one of few female owners in the laboratory business, inspired by what she went through with her son and his untimely death. Check out this clip.
I'm Sheila Michelle Foy, and I'm a native of Atlanta, Georgia. I currently own and operate Proceed Screening, which is a drug testing center and a clinical laboratory. I started out with just the idea to do drug testing because my son was killed and it was, you know, drug and gang related. Even this morning I was thinking, DJ would be 30 years old. What would that look like? What would we talk about? Would he be married? Would I have grandkids by him?
Michelle, with the loss of your son being your segue into the trucking business, do you ever feel a slight disdain or an anger for people who experience drug abuse?
No, I don't. I think I used to be I didn't understand addiction, and I also didn't have a lot of sympathy for people who chose anything other than the right road. But I've developed, you know, a high tolerance and compassion. I don't know, for some reason it all just clicked that one day I went into that drug test center, so that I just really want to help people on both ends.
Long distance trucker Tiana is more affectionately known as Pretty Pockets because she likes that cold hard cash. This mother of four is in her truck ripping up the road every day and arranging for other rigs to roll. Facing an upcoming trial, her friends and family have tried to persuade her to dump her long-term lover and co-defendant. Take a look.
So when the feds came, I got indicted and I didn't even know that they were coming for me.
I literally couldn't get out the bed for like a week.
My kids are affected by the fact that their stepdad is incarcerated.
What is trial? I don't know what that is.
They're gonna decide, is she guilty or is she not guilty?
Something you should know is that the co-defendant's lawyer, he missed his connection, so he's not getting in until like 9:40 in the morning.
So we have to wait on him?
We do. We cannot start without him.
As the newbie to the group, and some would say a mentee to Tiana, Chloe delved into the trucking world, dispatching in just 2 short years. With Tiana's looming federal court case, being new to the group and all of her personal issues, does Chloe have what it takes to be a part of this group?
Casey and I, we go back. So when she reached out, I was just like, I'm absolutely in.
All right, ladies, so did you guys ever think with so many different personalities that you guys would be able to pull this thing off?
I did. I was overly confident we could pull it. I mean, at the end of the day, we're business women. You know, we're not going to commit to anything and waste time. If we're going to commit, we're going to show up. We're going to show up and put our best foot forward. So I knew. What about y'all?
I think because we're so different that it works.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, we're grown. You know what I mean, personally and professionally, and so when you have an assignment, you can just keep the alignment. You know, it's just code. It's what you do.
Yeah, I like that.
You can keep the alignment. Okay.
So speaking of alignment, and we see that Tiana's not here, and you know she's not aligned with you ladies right now. Coming into the show, did you guys know just how much legal trouble that she potentially was in?
No, I was shocked.
I was shocked, and to find out things kind of subsequently. I felt the way, if I'm being honest. Like, I felt like me reading things in articles that I could have found out from her, like I would have preferred to hear it from her mouth.
Yeah, I was shocked. I just wish she had been more honest with us, honestly. Yeah, I wish she would have been more honest. I felt a little played.
But I don't expect her, I mean, I don't expect her to be, I mean, that's her story, right? She still did just meet us, so maybe she was uncomfortable. Like, how is someone gonna go up to you and say, this is what I did or didn't do? Maybe she was just rolling with the flow to see what happens. And
yeah, but I mean, she didn't just meet me. And I mean, over the course of doing this, once we knew it was an issue and you knew you were going to court, I just felt like there were things that I found out later. I just would have preferred to find out from her.
And I can understand that too, especially considering the fact that y'all were putting together something in the future.
Right.
And knowing that her future may not be the same as you guys' future, it would have made a little sense for her to be a little more honest. But realistically, had she divulged what she had gotten into criminally, if you will, would you all still have been interested in working with her on this project?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like I didn't even have the opportunity, so to go back now, it's kind of like, you know, so much money has been spent, so much time has passed. I don't know. I mean, that's a good question. What about you?
Honestly, and Tiana actually, because of what she did in trucking, she actually has referred a couple of clients to me. So we also had, you know, a similar relationship that you and I have. I think that it would have at least been a fair chance to see what was the proper way if business was to be done. Because at the end of the day, it's a business deal. You know what I mean? It's your personal business, but it's a business deal. So I'm kind of with you. Like, we didn't have the opportunity to like weigh all the facts and figure out if we can make it work, should we make it work? Because this really could have worked in her favor. But I think by not being forthcoming, it you know, it skewed some things.
It did.
So when we talk about working in her favor, Casey, what didn't work in her favor? Because we get a snippet where you say she called you collect, going off, you know, wanted to know. What was the business arrangement? What is it that she was expecting? Did you have her money? I mean,
she kind of has an attitude with me, like called me last week and tried to check me and was like, you know, and let me tell you this and let me tell you that. This is a collect call, baby. You're not about to get off on me. But I mean, it just also speaks to like where her mindset is. And I told her a long time ago, when I pulled up on her at the yard in Cali, I said, if you get in a jam, let me know, I'll help you. So we talked and I said, listen, I know your trucks are down. This is what you're going through. This is what I can help you do. You got that dispatch course. While I'm selling tickets to the expo, I can also be selling your dispatch course.
All I'm saying though, is at the end of the day, if writing a letter and being part of that is something that she's expecting, it's not that deep. Just write the damn letter.
Where this lady money at?
Listen, I have spent over $200,000 putting this together. So like our arrangement was, and they can attest to this, once we broke bread at the expo, that's when we would break bread. Until that point, and it took a lot longer than anybody thought. We have scheduled, she had the case, you know, Shanti was building a house, I moved, you know, we just had a lot going on. So I kind of felt like, why are you acting like I owe you something because you went to jail? Like, that's not my fault, you know what I mean? And, you know, we sent her money a couple times, and, you know, low-key, she was talking about it wasn't enough. So like, it didn't make me want to keep sending you money, nor are you calling me collect, you know, trying to get on my case. It didn't make me want to do that. Like, ultimately, everybody's grown. And so we business women, we have children, we have households, we have businesses. Come on now, you got to, if I go to jail tomorrow, I'm not expecting either one of them to fund my jail stay. I'm just not expecting that.
I could be so messy right now. How much money is not enough in prison? Does anybody know? Because I mean, I just thought they need money for snacks. I've never been snacks and tampons and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know.
Well, let me say this. The day she called me and she said, hey, I'm in jail, no one was expecting her to go to jail because she was out on bond. She actually threatened her co-defendant. So instead of them, they found her guilty, but they would have let her stay out for sentencing. Once they found out that she threatened somebody because she did it online, they revoked her bond instantly.
They made her go into jail.
So when she called me a week later, she said, oh, I'm in jail, but I'm gonna try to get bonded out. I told the girls, and Michelle said, I'm gonna send some money. I said, I'm going to match. I later found out, so we're thinking she's still bonded. I'm not thinking you're going to jail forever right then. So I later found out she said it wasn't enough, and I was cool on it after that.
So it wasn't enough to get her out, or it wasn't enough for her?
She was like, what's this? I mean, what am I supposed to do with this? That was it verbatim.
And where was her money? And I'm asking you all these questions that you may not even know the answers to.
I mean, I don't know. Like, again, if you're down and out and somebody sends you anything, I would have thought that you would have, you know, appreciated it. But I also know she didn't expect for it to get back to us.
And can I add to that? What I feel like people think, because you are successful and you seem to have it all together, that it's okay for someone to count your money. And it's not, because our money is allocated for our bills, our lifestyle, our kids. So you could be making a lot of money, but our bills are high.
Makes sense.
So it's not fair, you know?
It makes sense. You know, one thing that I love, and Shanti, you were the one who brought it up when she was talking about having to potentially go to jail. You were saying, you know, oh, we can run your trucks. Explain to the viewers what that means and what that would have looked like.
So basically, her trucking company would have been run under my trucking company or Casey's trucking company, and basically just keep it going, and we could have sent money to her kids, etc.
But I take it with the collect call and the subsequent hang up, that arrangement is now off the
I
table?
don't think you would not do that.
I didn't hang up. I mean, I asked her, by the time she told me she was in jail, it was like, I only got one truck left and I don't know if I want to put it on the road because it's cost associated with that, or I don't know what I'm going to do. I said, well, give me your digital course, and while I'm selling tickets, I'll sell it. I think at that point she was in the mind frame of just like going through the motions of like her woes, and she wasn't really hearing me. So the conversation to me would have been like, well, here, sell the course. I'll call this person, get the course. That was never really her main focus. So it's like, do you want me to keep giving you my money or help you make some money while you're going to be in here? It just wasn't her conversation. So after a certain point, it was like, what do you want me to do?
And so who's the last person to talk to her? When's the last time you guys have heard from her, talked to her sister, her family?
Out of the three of us, probably me. I talked to her and she called me trying to go off. And I said, I asked you for your dispatch course. She said I didn't. So I called the person on three-way who was on the phone, who heard me ask her for it, and the phone hung up. I assumed she hung up. I later got back to me, she didn't, and she thought I hung up, but I didn't reach out, and she
maybe she didn't have enough minutes because y'all didn't send her enough money.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean,
I don't know how that works because I ain't never been to prison, so.
Coming up on First Ladies of Freight.
Noticeably absent, we know why Tiana is absent, but Chloe, the newbie to the group, she was sassy and full of fire. Whew. Last I knew, she was on some shots at the Jason Lee interview when you and her got into it, and we didn't get to see it as the viewers, but what happened in the elevator? I'm dying to know what happened in the elevator.
So what if I told you that you can make money in trucking without having any trucks at all, right? So I've designed a turnkey trucking business that allows you to be a better business owner, get your money straight off the top, and scale your sustainable business model so that you can be like one of the large companies, okay? We take care of everything from administration, automations, owner-operators, and dispatch. It's all done for you. No headaches, no hassles, and no hangups. You want to learn more? Click the link below, and welcome to the Compass Circle. So one thing you might not know is when you run with different carriers, you're gonna get a rate confirmation. The rate confirmation is gonna explain the commodity, the weight, where it's picking up, and where it's gonna be delivered. If you're new in the game, you might not know that some companies are not going to give you the original rate con. What this looks like in real time is you may book a load with a certain broker, but the company that you're running for may modify that rate confirmation, and you may not be getting the full amount that you think you're getting. So while they're already taxing you 25 or 30%, they're also withholding the true amount that that load pays. So here at the Compass Circle, we are transparent. We give you the actual rate con from the broker straight to you so you can see exactly what you're earning. Sign up now at www.thecompasscircle.com/lease or call our recruiting officers at 1-888-410-3147.
First Ladies of Freight!
Noticeably absent, we know why Tiana is absent, but Chloe, the newbie to the group, she was sassy and full of fire. Whew. Last I knew, she was on some shots at the Jason Lee interview when you and her got into it and some.
I don't have no mentors. So that's the thing. I was never a mentee to anybody. Nobody taught me anything.
So she was never above you. Where did the sensitivity come from?
Because I did people wrong. I was just telling Casey this earlier. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was demon time. Like, I'm in a Bentley with another nigga when you got locked up.
I mean, why you say that? Yeah. I mean, ain't nobody mentoring me. Like, girl, her and Jason Lee was literally going back and forth for like 15 minutes. He was like, well, damn, do you like Tiana?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. Even after the show, like, me and her got into it in the elevator because I'm telling her, like, yo, you need to calm down. I did not know Chloe was as turned up as she was.
Because I really didn't like the fact that I was called a mentee. I mean, think about it. If you have been working for years to build your brand and nobody helped you, do you want to be called a mentee?
We didn't get to see it as the viewers, but what happened in the elevator? I'm dying to know what happened in the elevator.
I had to walk out because I don't like conflict. I've known Chloe a pretty long time, a few years, more than that, and their little conversation did get uncomfortable, and I was like, my Uber's here. I'm always like, oh, we'll have meetings. I'll be like, I'm out.
What was the conversation?
I mediated.
Sheila, you can.
What was the conversation?
So,
tell the truth.
Chloe didn't appreciate being biographed as, if that's a word,
a mentee.
As a mentee. She's somebody who feels that she stands on her own and that nobody should, quote, get her shine. And so she just, you know, I think that her presence on Jason Lee was just kind of out of character for how we have traditionally presented ourselves. Do you know what I mean? And so then following, she was like, oh, you know, do y'all want to go to dinner? And Casey's like, what?
Bitch, no.
Not after
I don't
that.
wanna eat with you. No.
And so Chloe didn't understand, you know, that it kind of was very out of pocket for us. And so then she and Casey just started having conflict. And I was trying to calm them both
Girl,
down.
Go get your Uber, Michelle.
She's like, go get a car.
Go get your car.
But I guess the thing is, number one, I felt like we didn't know if there are cameras, right? We didn't know if Jason was gonna pull that and be like, and that was gonna be the real podcast. You know, we didn't know. And I felt like it was like, we just meeting each other, right? You know what I'm saying? And so even though Tiana is in jail, somehow Tiana kind of, we all
got with the program.
Yeah, we all just kind of gelled. It was a different synergy. I think that Chloe's a good girl. I do. I just think that when it comes to this, she may not have been quite ready for this in the way that we've been doing it.
But to answer your question, you saw the Jason Lee interview.
Indeed.
Times that times 3, because I had to ask them to edit it out.
Correct.
And so after the interview, which was about, I would say 35 minutes later, we're in the elevator going downstairs, and she's like challenging me, we're back to this mentee comment. It's like you're making it a bigger deal than it have to be, boo-boo. Nobody, you could have just grazed over it gracefully, and we would have been on to the next, but that was her first time meeting us, and I just felt like I put you on that couch. You're not gonna challenge me about some little comment like, so what's more important, you being here or, so I mean, she was really like turned up to the point where I'm like, girl.
It really did feel like a stupid hill to die on.
It was.
Or whatever, but you know, you can never tell people how to feel about
right.
how they want to be biographed, as you said. Why she ain't here? Where she at? What happened? Spill the tea.
Well, here's the situation. Y'all, you know, the viewers saw her coming in hot. And so after she saw herself on TV, she, you know, she calmed down and she was like, I'm gonna do this right. And you know, my heart went out to her because I understand you might not be where we are. I wasn't expecting you. I picked you for you, right? So we talked about, you know, doing better on the next podcast. We did another podcast, she did fine. We did another podcast and she came undone. Lo and fucking behold, not even 15 minutes later, Chloe strikes again. Chloe literally loses her marbles and she is laughing uncontrollably on Coriel's podcast for literally like 3 minutes, to the point where we had to cut the tape and give her 5 minutes to restart because she just could not control herself.
Fly to see you. They fly to see you. They get a hotel to see you. They
pause for the cause, because she's gonna be in the camera. You're gonna be in the shot.
Yeah, so 2 shots.
I'm trying to stop.
Get it together.
It's funny. It's funny. What are you laughing at?
She always plugs this thing. It makes me laugh.
I was mortified. We're just not gonna move forward with Chloe anymore just because she's too much of a liability. I mean, and it was a podcast of a friend of mine, a business colleague, and we actually sat down before the podcast started and she expressed to the podcast host, like, you know, I ruined the last one, I want to do better. And literally 15 minutes later, the lady had to stop the cameras because, I mean, she just came undone. At that point, I had a conversation with the girls that like, hey, I don't feel comfortable. Like, you know, we spending money to travel, we leaving our kids, we doing all this stuff, hair and makeup. I mean, y'all know this stuff costs. I ain't wake up like this. So to put you in an environment where we're supposed to be shining and inspiring people and you just coming undone, I just wasn't comfortable with it, so.
Shanti, you've known her the longest. Do you think she's truly unpredictable in nature, or is it the reality TV bug bit her and she's trying to stand out and be that girl?
Well, when I knew her, she was actually pregnant. So, and our kids were friends, and she wasn't ever this wild. I mean, so I don't, you know, it's been a few years. So sometimes sometimes people aren't the same who they used to be. It was a little bit, you know, it was extra. And Casey did have a talk with her to see, you know, give her pointers. Do you need to take classes? Like, what can, you know? But I think the last straw is when they got into it in the...
Michelle, this could potentially be your area of expertise. You think she owns something? Tell the truth.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, I think that, you know, adult beverages, right, are commonplace. All right, they're commonplace everywhere you go. It's like, oh, let's have an adult, let's drink, let's have a shot.
She's trying to be classy with it. So you're trying to say
So-
she got a drinking problem?
No, I'm not saying, I can't, probably.
But I didn't even see her drink.
Well, I guess, so to answer your question.
She has a Chloe problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
she's her own worst enemy.
Yeah. So to answer your question, I think that Jason, there were some beverages, you know what I mean, and I think
Jason Lee said it's always turned
so
up.
I think that it was a combination of things. Okay, I'm the newbie. I need to
nervous.
prove myself. You know, what have you. And so, do I think that she could enjoy alcohol like a lot of people do? Absolutely. Anything beyond that, I personally haven't drug tested her, so I can't comment on that.
So for those of you guys who've seen my YouTube video, you know, Casey, I got into your behind because, you know, we seen where everybody else live and all up in Shanti's business, all up in her house. We don't know none of your business, sis. Where your man at, where your house at. We seen you in the Lambo, but how many cars you got? I mean, what you got going on, Big Mama?
Listen, y'all know where I live because you told everybody where I live at, okay? No, but I mean, we started off to do the expo. Again, nobody knew Tiana was going to jail. So that's how things turned. I mean, y'all stay tuned. Y'all gonna see it.
And Michelle, you married, from my understanding?
I am.
Oh, she's a good
8
man,
years.
Savannah.
And got married in 107 days.
And got married in 107 days. I'll teach y'all about that.
Ouch, you gonna teach that at the expo?
Absolutely.
And guys, it's worth noting, I will be not only hosting this reunion, which you see right now, I'll also be hosting the expo. So Casey, why should somebody buy a ticket, real talk, to this expo?
I'm gonna be honest, I did not know that when I started trucking, all this was gonna happen. You know, it's kind of like a phenomenon. People have caught on, people have been inspired, and I'm gonna be honest, for a woman or a man or anybody who needs to make a life, you know, needs to earn money, it's a really good career. It's so many ways you can make money in trucking. We're inspiring people, they're catching the bug, they're coming out, they're getting their CDLs, they're being dispatchers. If you really want a community to come and learn non-conventional ways, I mean, look at Michelle. She's in the medical field. She's figured out how to master that and bring it, you know, incorporate it. You just want to come and be a part of a community and get down and see what's going on and earn some cash.
Now, you know, what reassurance do you have for the people out there? Because we see people with platforms all the time with these women empowerment seminars and women of this seminars, and it'd be a whole bunch of nothing and it'd be a whole lot of whatever. What reassurance can you give these attendees that they will not be wasting their money to just hear you guys talk about your life? Michelle?
Yeah, I love to take that one. So I think that this expo is for anybody who is ready to make 1 + 1 = 3 in their life. If you are somewhere in your life and you're like, I don't belong on this level, then the expo is for you. And when it comes to women empowerment, I would definitely say there are a lot of mean girl groups out there, but by virtue of what you've heard on the couch, there's code here. And it's not just code in how we deal with each other, but also code in how we relate to other people.
And coming to the expo, you never know, you might just be the next First Lady of Freight.
Yeah, we are definitely looking. If you think you're that girl and you got what it takes to come sit with us, and you want to spread the word.
Is it a casting call?
I mean, hey,
it might be.
It's on the road.
Right.
So
no, I mean, I think we do
so
need one more
cute.
girl to round it out.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we did intentionally start with 4 anyway. Women are in my DMs, my emails all the time, like, hey, I think I got what it takes. I have a trucking school here. We're also trying to highlight, you know, unconventional ways and where women or people of color are in the transportation industry. It's not just about having a CDL and driving. You know, she doesn't even touch a truck, you know? So come out. If you think you got what it takes, come show us and hey.
All right, guys, so it's a wrap for the season 1 reunion of the First Ladies of Freight. Casey, what can the people expect in season 2?
Fucking dogs, that's what.
Casey, what can people expect for the second season of the First Ladies of Freight?
Man, so on the second season of First Ladies of Freight, we're going to find that 4th girl.
Stop. Why is he like singing background, like legit?
So on the second season of the first...
Yeah, she don't like your voice. That dog,
Okay.
That's the time when she
Which
said,
one
let's
of
go. That dog said, no, y'all time up. Get out my house.
How you want to handle this?
But what can the viewers expect from season 2 of First Ladies of Freight?
So on season 2, you can expect for us to find...
That's God saying leave it alone.
Okay, yeah. I'm looking for that girl. I'm looking for someone who has, you know, mastered their niche. Looking for someone to be, of course, professional, but still can do it for the culture because it's all about, you know, representation and inspiration. Looking for somebody who has a heart for teaching and, you know, teaching the community. and bringing people along. If you're really that girl, you got a platform, you can be an asset, you know how to be a leader, you know how to be a team player, and if you want to inspire more women, meet me at the Trucking Expo.